Mary called the Bloomers Garden Hotline, and her Taxus Yuse were looking a little sparse. Listen to her call.
Hi, I have some old Yuse in front of my house, and they're very sparse. I don't have a real good light. It's a little bit shady there. I wonder what I could do about that to help them. Thank you. My name is Mary.
Mary! Hey, Mary. You're from my old neighborhood. So let's talk first. They can't be cut back now. I don't like we always talk about billable hours for landscapers, and they go and they cut things back. Yeah, everything gets cut back in the fall because, the grass is slowing down and things. Do not cut them back now. It's the wrong time. You got to do certain plants at the right time. Here's my first advice is that make sure when they push out that first new growth that you wait to cut them back after that new growth turns that dark green as the rest of the plant. Okay, then you can cut them back because there are two growth cycles in the year for especially Taxus, where it'll send out one shot of new growth, and that usually is right in. You'll start to see it swell and start growing March, April. Then it will grow until probably we're talking about June, late June maybe. You've got to cut them back hard then. And you want to cut, don't be afraid. Cut them in half, or they're plants.
Nut puppies.
Rip them out and replace them. My concern is that they're not, you said they were in some shade, but shade, they'll grow in shade. They'll be fine in shade. I'm concerned that the suburban deer population that is in your area, it's like candy to deer.
Yeah, sure.
That's why you'll see Cephalotaxus and you'll see other types of plants that are being used now because deer don't eat it. So, and again, that's why we use, it's like, let's put in emerald green arborvitae. It's like, deer food, they'll end up being poodles, all the bottom will be eaten. And that you use the Western arborvitae or green giant arborvitae, or our favorite is American pillar, which is a type of green giant. Just it doesn't get so fat and take up so much of your yard, so it stays narrow and gets tall. So if deer are the problem, because I've had the issue.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, that not only the deer in my yard, but specifically Taxus. I have a dwarf variety that doesn't get more than about a foot tall, and it spreads out real wide. And I looked at it one day, and it was like, where's all the foliage? And I saw a mother and a baby. No, it wasn't a baby. It was a maturing, let's say it was an adolescent deer, eating my Taxus. And I'm like, it's fun when you think, oh, look, it's Bambi. No, not when they start eating your plants. So I wasn't real happy about it, but I noticed that in the summer they pushed out some new growth, and guess who came back? They're farmers. They're eating off your plants, and then they let them grow a little bit. If you have hosta, you can forget it. They're gone. So again, consider taking them out. And if you don't have the deer issue, once they push out that first new growth and the new growth turns the same color as the old growth, so it gets that dark green color, it's no longer that light green, cut them down. Cut them real hard. You can cut them in half, and that you'll be surprised that the next growth they'll push out new growth, and it will be more dense, more compact. And again, you probably have had these things for a while. So you got to make that decision. And if you do have deer issues and you still want to keep them, use Repelzol from Bonide. It's a repellent that works great. It's safe for other types of animals. It works on other types of animals too, like rabbits and things. It'll work on rabbits. It'll work on all different types, but we're keying in on deer. Completely environmental safe, biodegradable, and again, it won't hurt the plants or the animals, and that's what you want. So again, that's Repelzol by Bonide, and we always use this. We're again, we saw it from, it was Dr. Where he had a bottle that like was out by his plant so long that the label was gone, but it was deer repellent. You could see that part of the label, and he just kept it by the plant that needed the deer repellent. So every time he walked by it, he'd have the bottle, not have to run into the garage or run into the shed and find it. It would be right there, and you just pick it up and just squirt it around. Yeah. It's not something you have to be that scientific about. It's not like you're killing an insect. You're basically creating a plant, an environment where the deer associates your Taxus as something that they don't want. And it has to be done often enough so that you're modifying the behavior so they go to your neighbor's yard.
That's right. Yeah, it's not a one and done thing.
No. You got, and if you keep it out there, you can't keep it out when it freezes. It can't freeze, but you can certainly keep it out there, from spring all the way through to winter. Speaking of winter, winter's coming up a little.
It is, yeah.
Next
December
week,
21st.
a week from today.
Yeah,
a week from today. And that next week we're going to do
what happens after that?
Our winter solstice.
Yes,
our winter solstice show. We'll be we'll have a segment next week on that. Now, see, you now have a new home in a different area. Do you have issues? Can you do your landscape?
Oh yeah,
your own landscape. Yeah. Do they have deer issues? Because that's Mullica Hill. Whoops, sorry.
Oh,
what the? Everybody knows you're from Mullica Hill, Pittman. Anyway, but Mullica Hill has a deer issue.
They do,
yeah.
Yeah. We have woods in the back. So
so you're right up against woods too.
Yeah,
that makes it worse.
Yeah.
So I don't know anybody. I remember Monrovia. If you're looking for a good tag, Monrovia Nursery on their tag has deer resistant, a little icon with a deer and the cross through it. Yeah. That where it's a deer resistant plant. So if you're looking when you're shopping for plants and you have a bad deer problem, make sure you shop those Monrovia plants. You'll be able to tell which ones are good for I guess not good for deer, which ones are resistant to deer. But ask your local garden center. They will certainly be able to tell you. They'll certainly be able to tell you. So, tell you what, Mary, I would cut it back. Yeah. See what happens. Get a inexpensive. It's not that crazy price wise. Get yourself a ready to use bottle of Repellzol, and starting in spring right away, you spray that area with the Repellzol, and you just keep it up through the whole. I would do it through the whole spring and summer, and that will help your plant. But also cut it back. Cut it back. Don't be afraid. Don't fear
the shears.
Don't fear the shears. That's right. So get there and cut it back. You'll be amazed. I know that I've cut plants back that are 6 feet tall to 3 feet, and they flush back out. Beautiful. Like I just got them.
Yeah, brand new.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And that a lot of times people are afraid to cut things back. And I've even done azaleas. I've done rhododendrons. Right. I thought I killed the rhododendrons, but I did not. That they were 5 foot, and I brought them all the way back down to 2 foot, and they were like heavy canes. I mean, they were like, it's like could put it in the fireplace.
Yeah. Now I don't know if she's using fertilizer or not, but I would definitely use it.
Yeah, and do that in the spring. Right now things are dormant, so they're not going to be absorbing fertilizer.